Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television. A reminder of our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari arrives in Washington, D.C. ahead of his meeting with Donald Trump. Presidency hints that the meeting will center on security, especially the fight against Boko Haram. Police confirm explosion in the residence of the President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo, Chief John Nwodo, vows to bring perpetrators to justice. Lawmaker representing Kogi West, Senator Dino Melaye, retains his seat in the Red Chamber as process to recall him fails. And U.S. Secretary of State, confident of deal with North Korea on denuclearization. ChannelsTV.com has more information for you, and on youtube.com/channelsweb you can watch our videos. You can also watch us on your mobile device via your browser or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. Besides giving you access to news and updates on the go, the Channels TV and Channels 24 apps have an eyewitness feature that you can use to share pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then please tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. And to some of the stories that you sent in, let's begin with this picture from Ikeja, the Lagos state capital, showing a space where the prepaid meter should have been installed. Well, our eyewitness reporter alleges that without prepaid meters, residents are being unduly exploited by the Ikeja electricity distribution company. He wants something done about that. Next is this video from Mechanic Village around Babs and Imashao in Lagos State, showing these people eyewitness reporter describes as members of the Federation of Informal Workers of Nigeria and technicians, protesting against an alleged eviction from their work environment because they were operating under high-tension cables. Well, they are alleging that this same piece of land is now being developed for a housing scheme. Well, finally is this video from Ojodu area of Ogun State. According to our eyewitness reporter, about 2 years ago, not a single piece of paper was found there, but now it is a heap of refuse. He is raising concerns that if this dump site is not checked, it may soon become like Olushosu in Lagos State, considering the number of scavengers now living there, with many more coming in. Well, we thank you for sending in those pictures and videos and ask that you keep them coming. Members of the faith-based community under the aegis of Christian Association of Nigeria are not happy with the federal government over the continuous killings in some parts of the country. The body today marched through the streets in states across the country in a peaceful protest, demanding an immediate halt and a shift in focus by the federal government from the 2019 ambition to tackling the prevalent insecurity, especially in Benue State.
It was another sad week for Benue State as yet again some suspected herdsmen struck, killing 2 priests and about 17 worshippers, with yet another strike that killed another 22 persons less than 24 hours interval. From many fronts, the incident was vigorously condemned. The House of Representatives in their deliberations agreed to invite the president over the bloodlet. In a statement condemning the attacks, the Khan president called for protests to be held. Just as requested, Christian faithful across the states spent some of their service hours marching through the streets, chanting songs of encouragement and making their voices count.
We have discovered that this problem is taking a dimension to eliminate certain group of people. Yes. And these people are identified collectively by what they believe in. Yes. We stand to oppose and to tell the world that this government must rise up to its responsibility and ensure that the culprits are arrested.
The killings in Benue may have triggered these protests, but their demands stretches beyond the food basket state.
Yeah, what we are demanding from the president is, number one, the killings must stop. Number two, the Fulani herdsmen must stop their killing. Number three, Chibok girls must be released immediately. Leah Sharibu, that was only retained when several others, because the girl said she could not deny her Christ. Mr. President should get all those released.
Down south in Ondo State, the number that turned up, their inscriptions, and above all the prayers, underscored their pains and resolve to put forward the petition, which largely scored the present administration low in terms of internal security.
We have been calling upon the federal government before now to address the killing, to readdress the security chiefs that are lopsided, but it's like the federal government is paying a lip service to this. There's a need for the federal government to take a decisive steps to stop killings of Christians. Why should Boko Haram or Fulani herdsmen go into the church and be killing priests?
In very clear terms, the demands have been presented and can be seen in a tripartite presentation. The makeup of the security chiefs have been questioned. The similar attacks on mostly Christians have been condemned. And above all, the incessant reoccurrence is what they want the FG to halt.
We are sorrowful. We are unhappy. We don't like it. We want a stop to it. It must stop by the grace of God.
It shouldn't be difficult to notice a change from current situation when it occurs, and that will be indicative of the right responses anticipated from the authorities. Olu Phillips, Channels Television News.
And to some politics, the failure of the bid to recall the senator representing Kogi West, Dino Melaye, after signatories verified by INEC, fell well short of the number required. From the results announced by the Independent National Electoral Commission, only 18,742 of the 189,870 of the signatories to the petition for the senator's recall were verified. According to the declaration officer for the exercise, the verified signatories represent only 5.34% of the registered voters in the senatorial district. Our correspondent Charles Aruka reports.
Houses and Powers and Privileges Act, Cap 208.
Senator Dino Melaye is no stranger to controversy. But the storm really began to brew for the lawmaker representing Kogi West on June the 21st, 2017, when some of his constituents submitted a petition to the Independent National Electoral Commission demanding his recall from the Senate. Serving the notice of recall on Senator Melaye itself proved to be a tricky process, as he reportedly evaded the INEC agents sent to perform that assignment. When he was eventually served, the lawmaker approached the Federal High Court in Abuja to declare the notice as illegal and of no consequence. That was the start of a protracted legal battle in which Melaye lost his bid to stop the recall process, first at the Federal High Court and eventually at the Court of Appeal, which on March the 18th, 2018, okayed the exercise. Although Senator Melaye then turned to the Supreme Court to challenge the verdict, INEC nonetheless fixed April the 28th as the date for the verification exercise. It appeared to be game over for the lawmaker, who was confined to his hospital bed with injuries sustained in an abortive escape attempt from a moving police vehicle. On the D-Day, the exercise itself witnessed mixed fortunes. Impressive in some areas, it also witnessed low turnout in others. The exercise held in the 7 local government areas that make up Kogi West Senatorial Zone: Kotonkarfe, Kababunu, Ijumu, Yagba East, Yagba West, Loko. It was adjudged to be a largely peaceful effort, except in Mokpa Amuro, where pockets of violence were witnessed in 6 polling units, resulting in the exercise cancelled in 6 out of 10 wards. Of the 189,870 of the signatories to the petition for Senator Melaye's recall, only 18,742 were verified by INEC. And this was the verdict of the INEC presiding officer.
Percentage of verified signatures, 5.34%. 5.34%. I, Professor Oketo Gabriel Moti, hereby affirm that the information on verification of signatures to the petition for the recall of Senator Dino David Melaye of Kogi West Senatorial District has taken place on this day, 28th day of April 2018, and that the verified signatures is 5.34% of the total number of registered voters in the constituency, and has therefore not satisfied the requirements of the law for referendum.
If the verification exercise had succeeded, the next step for INEC would have been to hold a referendum. For now, Dino appears to have won this battle, but there remains the issue of the charges he faces of arming political thugs. The drama unfolds. Charles Eruka for Channels Television News.
Well, from the lawmakers' battles to those of his colleagues, well, while Nigerians await the passage of the budget, that is the 2018 budget, well, there appears to be concerns that the budget may have taken a back seat to a wave of politicking and infighting in the National Assembly, specifically the Senate. Well, in this next report, our correspondent Linda Akibe examines the situation.
Proposing that we're laying the budget finally on the 19th of April 2018, and hopefully we'll be passing the budget on the 24th of April 2018, is the harmonized calendar with the Senate.
April 24th came and went, but the 2018 budget has not been passed by the National Assembly. This is nearly 6 months after President Buhari submitted the 2018 budget to the National Assembly for its approval. The executive and the legislature have blamed each other for being responsible for the delay in the passage of a 2018 budget. The National Assembly hung the budget delay on the neck of government agencies over their failure to submit details of their budgets to relevant committees.
Well, I think we need to background it. You found out that ministries, departments and agencies, their heads had to wait until the president again perfunctorily told them to ensure that they go to defend their budgets in the National Assembly. But it does, again, not excuse, permit me to use that word, the laziness of the National Assembly in terms of fast-tracking.
But the process of working and passing the 2018 budget has been completely overshadowed by the drama in the National Assembly, particularly the Senate. The upper chamber had to contend with an invasion of his chamber, infighting, as well as the emergence of a splinter group made up of lawmakers dissatisfied with some of the decisions by the Senate, particularly the amendment of the Electoral Act setting the sequence of general elections.
It's been a National Assembly that is given to a lot of drama, but that really shouldn't, in reality, affect its output. It has to do with more. It has to do more with our service delivery attitude in our country. We do not measure. Okay, people. How many sittings should a senator, should a member of House of Representatives sit through a legislative year? Who keeps track of that? Is there punishment for not doing so?
On April 25th, the Senate cut short plenary in solidarity with Senator Dino Melaye, with over 40 lawmakers visiting the senator at the National Hospital Abuja, where he is receiving treatment. They accused the police of maltreating their colleague.
I'm standing here to move that this Senate, for now, move from here to go and see Dino.
Some Nigerians have criticized the Senate's action of cutting short plenary to visit Senator Melaye in the hospital.
It should not be something you suspend plenary. You could finish plenary before, you don't suspend the business of governance just because you have to get to a senator.
We don't penalize them. They already have a culture. If the Senate president is going to court, you follow him. Okay, if somebody is in the hospital, you leave legislative work, you follow. Because we don't track, because there is no sanctions. You understand? Because whether you come or not, you are paid.
But a lawmaker defends the action of the Senate.
The life of one Nigerian is more important than anything that we have to do in the Senate. For all the years that we have to be here, the life of one Nigerian And Dino, if you say his life was not important for us to suspend plenary, what are we talking about? What are we here for? Are we not here for Nigerians?
While the argument over the Senate's decision to cut short plenary in solidarity with their colleague continues, keen observers of the legislature would like to see an increase in citizen oversight of the National Assembly. A situation where Nigerians are now mindful of who represents them in the National Assembly, as well as monitoring the activities of lawmakers voted to represent them. Linda Kibe, Channels Television News.
When the news at 10 returns, a legal practitioner, Mr. Daniel Bwala, joins us for more on the National Assembly activities, plus victims of money marriage culture in Cross River State seek an end to an ancient practice. That's our community report tonight. Please join us again.